Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Live pictures from Sky 4 as crews work to put out a fire at an apartment complex.
This is happening at the La Chateau Apartments on Southfield Road, just north there of 10 Mile.
Yep. Here in the past hour, we have learned everyone was able to get out of the building. That's the good news.
But 3 people have minor injuries. So let's get out to Pamela Osborne. Pam, what are you hearing from the residents in the building there, or out of the building now?
Well, we can tell you that fire is under control, but I want you to take a look at some of the damage that has taken place here. You can see the roof has collapsed down on almost all of this particular building where that fire broke out. Now, fire officials say the first call came in at around 2:15. Within 6 minutes, they were here on scene, and within a minute of arriving on the scene, that fire, which is believed to have started in a second-story apartment, started to break through the roof. 2 residents were treated at the scene. A third was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. It took 6 different fire departments to get this under control. A total of 32 apartment homes have been damaged or destroyed. We spoke with a mother and daughter who were in their apartment at the time the building caught fire. The daughter had to alert her mom to that danger. They were able to make it out safely, and now they're wondering what's next.
I'm feeling pretty good now. I mean, I was a little nervous and shaky when I first got out here.
We don't know what's next. We just got to trust in God and know that it's going to work out.
Get out with your lives.
That's right. And that's the most important thing.
She went on to say that they had a lot of stuff inside of that apartment that was lost, but that all of those things are replaceable. I should mention the Salvation Army is here assisting residents right now who are out of their apartments because of this fire, as fire officials shift their investigation or their work now to what actually caused this fire to break out to begin with. Reporting live in Southfield, I'm Pamela Osborne, Local 4.
All right, thanks, Pamela. Now let's move to Decision 2024 with just hours to go before the polls open in this election. Metro Detroit and Michigan getting a lot of attention, as we have from both campaigns, as they make their final push to get out the vote. It's going to be one thing that sets this year's election apart from years past, and it's this number.
That's right. 3.1 million votes have already been cast here in Michigan thanks to early voting. So it may seem a little less busy at some polling places, and that isn't the only thing that's going to be different. We're going to kick off our election coverage tonight with Hank Winchester. Hank.
And Kimberly, can you believe that number? More than 3 million Michiganders, more than 60% of the residents in Ann Arbor have already voted. And take a look, a lot of traffic here. It is busy on West Grand Boulevard. These are people right now dropping off absentee ballots, and of course they can make their way right back here tomorrow to cast their vote in person. The line's long, a lot of traffic, people busy handing in those absentee ballots. Today, I met Trina Henry here in Detroit. Why did you want to vote early?
Oh, I don't live far from here, and I know it'll be a little bit crowded tomorrow, more than likely.
So handed in that ballot today, got it done.
Definitely.
Right now at Huntington Place, the absentee ballots being sorted. This is a big change. The biggest change here at Huntington Place, the location where this is happening. No longer downstairs, it's now been moved to an upstairs area that is more secure. The other changes this year is that ballots started being processed October 28th. You may remember in 2020, they couldn't be processed until 7 a.m. on Election Day. The first results expected about 9 p.m. on Tuesday. All votes should be counted by Wednesday afternoon. Here's Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson.
I'm pleased to report that our state's first ever early voting period during a presidential election was extremely successful and broke several records.
And back here at Huntington, security is tight and will remain that way until the votes are certified. The advantage of all of this is that you're getting a jump start, big jump start.
We're getting a big jump start. As I've stated, by Tuesday, 90% of all absentee ballots that are cast will already be in the can.
Back out here live, that is a big jump start, and the hope there is that we will get those results sooner. Again, if you didn't have the opportunity to vote absentee or to vote early, you can vote tomorrow in person starting at 7 a.m. And I want to hear from you. If you have any problems at the polls tomorrow, get in touch with Help Me Hank. You can do that by calling our tip line, 313-634-WDIB. You can scan that QR code right there. You can also head over to clickondetroit.com. Head to the help desk. We want to make sure every single person that wants to vote has the right to do that tomorrow. We are live here tonight in News Center. Hank Winchester, Help Me Hank. Back to you.
Yeah. Okay, Hank, thank you. And while early voting is expected to impact turnout on Election Day, that isn't stopping Vice President Harris and former President Trump from crisscrossing the country in hopes of getting out the vote.
And we are following both campaigns tonight. We're going to begin with Bree Jackson following the Harris campaign from Washington. Bree.
After 3.5 months on the road, crisscrossing the country, making her case to become president, Vice President Harris will spend election night here on the campus of Howard University, where she went to school for undergrad, and has said that this is where she first found her love for politics. Preparations are underway on the campus of Howard University, where Vice President Kamala Harris is set to spend election night with her supporters.
I want to be a part of this historic moment. I want to see it in live action.
Harris is a graduate of the historically black university. People we spoke with say they are proud to be witnessing history.
Just being on this campus, there's such a legacy. There's such a energy that breeds excellence.
Not only is this election important from the perspective of a black person, particularly a young black woman, but also this is perhaps one of the most consequential elections in our lifetime.
The vice president is spending these last hours campaigning in critical Pennsylvania.
It's about just strengthening our country and reminding each other we are all in this together. We rise and fall together.
Harris making her final pitch, and on Tuesday, voters will have the final say. And as you can imagine, security here on the campus of Howard University is tight. The Secret Service says it's working with federal and local authorities to ensure that election night here on campus is safe and secure. Thousands are expected to be here to watch the results pour in and to welcome Kamala Harris back to a place she once called home. On the campus of Howard University, Bree Jackson, Local 4.
Okay, Bree, and from the Harris camp, we now turn to former President Trump's final push before voters head to the polls tomorrow. He is barnstorming basically the battleground states with stops in Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and later tonight his final stop of the campaign in Grand Rapids. Alice Barr is in Palm Beach, where the former president will watch the results roll in.
Good evening. Former President Trump is preparing to close out what has essentially been 9 years of running for or occupying the White House with an address to supporters tomorrow night at the Palm Beach Convention Center. But first, one last round of swing state campaigning.
Former President Trump sprinting across 3 battleground states today from North Carolina.
Get out and vote. You know that.
To Pennsylvania, ending in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where he finished his last 2 campaigns and keeping the issue that launched him front and center.
We're going to close up that border so fast.
But a closing message focused on immigration and inflation detoured over the weekend at a Pennsylvania rally, where the former president said he should never have left the White House after his 2020 election loss.
I shouldn't have left. I mean, honestly, because we did so well.
And while talking about the bulletproof glass that mostly enclosed him on stage following 2 assassination attempts against him, saying this.
To get me, somebody would have to shoot through the fake news. And I don't mind that so much.
In a statement, the Trump campaign claimed his comment had, quote, nothing to do with the media being harmed and that he was, quote, actually looking out for their welfare. Trump supporters eagerly awaiting results.
I think that Trump's going to win, but I think it's going to be close.
As the nation prepares for Election Day.
Sources familiar with the planning tell NBC News former President Trump is expected to vote in person tomorrow before watching election results come in with family and friends at Mar-a-Lago and then heading out to address supporters at the Palm Beach Convention Center. In West Palm Beach, Florida, Alice Barr, Local 4.
All right, Alice, and we certainly hope you're going to join us for our special election coverage all night long on Local 4 Plus and clickondetroit.com. We're going to be following all the races that matter to you here in Metro Detroit, across our state and across the country. We've got a bipartisan panel to weigh in on the results as they come in. We've got our decision board to help us kind of go through graphically and dynamically, I think, the trends that we see throughout the night. Be with us. Our coverage gets underway tomorrow evening at 8 p.m.
All right, now to the weather and that all-important Election Day forecast. So far today, we're off to a pretty dreary start of the work week as we take a live look outside from our Windsor sky cam there.
It's so dark so early now after moving the clocks back or falling back. We've seen rain off and on for most of the day, and now wondering if that trend's going to continue.
Let's get over to Ron Hilliard. He's in for Kim Adams tonight with your forecast. Hi, Ron.
Hi to you, Kimberly and Devin. We still have some of those showers here in southeast Michigan, but many of us have had some breaks already. The ZachTrack 4D radar shows where we are staying dry for the moment. East side of town, but as you go over toward the west and south, you will see those showers popping up, getting over toward the Manchester area, getting into Ann Arbor, Pittsfield. We have showers to come. See, we're seeing the showers returning right now as well, going farther toward the south. As you go over toward the Erie area of Monroe, we have those returning into our area as well. Here's a look in downtown and looking toward Belle Isle and Lake St. Clair. It is gloomy out there with more showers on the way. The temperatures are mild right now, around 70 degrees. Those winds are picking up and they have been gusty pretty much for the past couple of days as well. We will notice those winds stronger tomorrow out of the southwest of many communities right now, 10 to 20 miles per hour. So if you're going downtown, be prepared for a few showers that are still possible this evening. Those temperatures are going to be in the 60s if you're going to the Pistons game. We're going to have more coming up.
All right, Ron. Well, it was a dominating performance in enemy territory. The Lions taking home. Well, one team knew how to handle the conditions on a nasty day at Lambeau, and the other team was the Green Bay Packers. And with that win, the Lions extend their lead in the NFC North.
And they're already looking ahead to a game in prime time against Houston Sunday night here on Local 4. Hobie is here. This team is just so fun to watch.
It is incredible because they keep finding different ways to win, it seems, week in and week out.
Losing pieces along the way.
Absolutely. Right? They just find a way to get it done. That's what Dan Campbell said. Well, heavy lies the crown, but that weight has not been a worry for these Lions. This team is still at the top of their division, now 2-0 in the NFC North. The Lions went to Lambeau Field battling the Packers and the elements in a game where they took the lead and never let go. The offense set the tone. The bend but don't break defense broke the game wide open with a pick six as they beat the Packers 24-14. Not bad for their first game outside this year as good things continue to happen.
I would say it's satisfying, you know, to be able to know you can go do that. And I do feel like, you know, I think Goff made a comment about being like a chameleon. You know, I think that's very true. I think we can play any type of game we need to play, depending on where you're at, who the opponent is, environment, everything. I think we can win a lot of different ways, and that's a good thing.
And the Lions next month doesn't look too bad either. Only one of their next four opponents has a winning record. Right now, that's Houston. The Lions kick off against the Texans on Sunday Night Football right here on Local 4 on Sunday. But you look at that stretch right there, not too scary as they head into Thanksgiving against the Bears.
And about around 24 hours away now from the trade deadline. We're still waiting.
We shall see, because there were reports out there that they were going to try to add to the defense, but we're still waiting on official word if that is going to happen for the Lions.
Good deal. All right, Hody.